Mahindran sir, can we start the prayer, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I will do the first adhikar and the third adhikar. Mangalamaya Mangalakaran Vidarahabinjan Namo Haitahi Devaye Arahantadi Mahan Hari Mangalakari Om Maha Grandakarana Gokaj Jadai Milai Samaja Savam Bhavai Nijapadaraj.
Wow, Mahindranji, thank you so much. Beautiful.
Yep, thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank
First
you.
of all, Michhami Dukram, Kshamapana from
Michhami
everybody.
Dukram, everyone. Michhami Dukram, ma'am.
Michhami Dukram.
Sukhsata hai, ma'am.
Was running in and out of classes. In and out of classes and lectures, बस बहुत drained out हो गया. Paryushan 18 days and then hectic. Not drained out literally, but yesterday there were a few events, you know. So when you go for these events, a lot of energy is wasted. You want to be in Nivritti, but this Pravrti takes away a lot of your energy. So that's it. Or kuch nahi. Yes, how are you all? How was your Paryushan? How was it different from last year? Hello.
Ma'am, I had a very good experience this time. I had 8 days of Bahyatap and Abhyantartap both. So I spent a lot of time doing spiritual studies, read some agamas, and also did a lot of meditation and all those things as well. So it was very, very nice.
So what Bahyatap did you do?
I did 8 days upwas.
Wow.
So the upwas was not very much of an importance, but it was the fact that I could manage doing the internal meditation as well while doing the upwas, which was very beneficial.
Very good, very good. So you combined Bahya Abhyantartap. So what was the experience? How was it?
It was first of all, like until now, I used to do upwas every year, and a lot of times I do 8 upwas during Paryushan, so that was nothing new for me. But the fact that it was this time, I could see the benefit of looking internally and internalizing what my thoughts were towards the whole aspect of Jainism, so to speak, and where am I leading myself. And I had a very unique experience in that sense. So I work in a pharmacy, and just after the Paryushan finished, I happened to see a patient, and the patient he's probably of the same age as I am, but he was suffering from a condition where he is not able to focus on the current situation. So he keeps mumbling to an imaginary person. And at that point of time, I started realizing how fortunate I am. And this is where Bhagwan is telling me that this is why Manushya Janma is so durlabh, that I have all my senses active and all my mental status intact, and I'm still engrossed in the external activities and using my time into the wrong direction. So this was a wake-up call for me as well. So those introspections really helped me to look at life in a different perspective.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So you have an enhanced view of things. Your horizons are widened.
Definitely.
Deeply and profoundly and clearly.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good. Very good, very good. Happy for you, and really appreciate Anumodna for your Bahya. Yes, anybody else would like to record their observations, remarks, suggestions?
Ma'am, it was, as you have rightly said, it was like Parvadi Raj Maha Parva. So it was like 8 days, as if, no, ghar mein koi shadi ho, you have a wedding at your own house, and how happy you are, that internal happiness that I felt, and no, a little more closer to my own soul, and no, to understand the potential step by step. I always wish to do 8 upvas, but I think physically nahi ho pata hai. But a step by step. Last year I did Bayashna, and this year I did the Ikashna with all around taking care of the family, since my mother-in-law is not well and I have kids at home. But to be, and that wo Anand, that blissful experience never felt like before. And Samvatsari was like, no, ki, never have I gone through those kind of feelings that Pratikaman was changed my life forever. This Pratikaman has changed for life forever. Andar se, and I think after that day, it's like I'm no more that same, my Kashai, my no Rag, Dvesh, everything has gone down drastically. So it's a wonderful, it's like the best of Paryushan I've ever had till today.
Very good, Aarti. With all the challenges out at home, you're able to still sail through.
Yes,
Very,
ma'am.
very
Ma'am,
good,
आपका ही your words keep lingering. No, आत्मा में बहुत अनंत potential है. We just have to manifest it. So I was just one step ahead to manifest my potential, and definitely I think now nobody can stop. It will just manifest. I will try to manifest. And please, ma'am, जब भी time मिले, please give us those tips आगे और तब कैसे करने के लिए. भाव बहुत है, लेकिन I am not able to do.
आएगा. अभी तो we are only in the third semester,
Yes,
third
ma'am.
semester में. अब जैसे fourth semester, जैसे जाएंगे 3 साल में तो कहीं के कहीं पहुंचने वाले. आप जो बोल रहे थे ना, manifestation, so don't worry about the manifestation. The realization of it is first step.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
I am that pure potential. I am a knower and seer. Every moment remember that.
Yes.
In birth and death, in old age and suffering and happiness, in the ups and downs of life, I am the knower and seer.
Sure, ma'am.
I am not all this. I am not all this.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the realization of that is the manifestation of that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
And every moment realization. Every moment realization, or the determination that I am that. I'm not this. The firm determination, I am that. And 1 second they tell you, leave the house and go, get out. Yes, I'm ready, Ramchandra ji.
Yes.
This moment you have to go in exile. Yes, I'm ready. This moment you have to die. I'm ready. This moment you have to be a prime minister of your country. I'm ready. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's the spirit. So don't worry about the manifestation. Realize that you are that. You are not all this. You are not all this. You are not the Man Vachan Kaya. You are not the Kashai. You are not the Karma. You are a silent witness. Gyata Drishta Bhav. Gyayak Bhav. Sakshi Bhav. Gyan Darshan Swabhav. So wait till Samaysar starts, and then it will be a flight to Mars.
Wow.
अभी तो खाली ग्राउंड प्रिपरेशन चल रहा है ना, अभी ट्रेनिंग चल रहा है, अभी तो फ्लाइट पकड़ना बाकी है.
Sure, ma'am. You are a captain. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, and I'm a very well trained captain, so you can trust me.
Sure, ma'am. Completely. Thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? The last person, if I can ask. Yug Daga is with us today. Oh wow, Yug, where were you? Did you become the prime minister or the president of your country? That you were gayab from the classes? Where is Neeta ji? Hello, Yug. Yes, Yug. Where were you all these days, dear? I keep telling you're the youngest, or I should say the oldest one with the wisdom. Hello.
I had some schoolwork to do, so I couldn't.
So much of schoolwork these people give you. Then one small little girl sent a video to our prime minister, that बहुत homework देते हैं. And immediately that was taken note of. Go and see that viral note, a viral video of that little girl. So why don't you also send some videos to your education minister and get less burden of the schoolwork?
Yes.
Poor little children. Yes. Yug, how are you?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
Are you catching up with the recordings, videos, lectures or not?
Yes, ma'am.
You are? Okay. If you don't, then you will be behind. then you should again go to a lower batch then. Again, redo those things and then come. I'll be very happy at the end of 5 years. How old are you, Yug?
15. ma'am.
15. So yeah, when he turns 17 or 18, he'll be the youngest Paramagam student, I think so. I think so. I'm not sure. Yes, dear. Shall we start the class now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Chalo. So you all remember that we are doing the 3rd chapter and we should finish this 3rd and 4th chapter by September. Only then we can do Krambat Paryay and Anekantvad Syadvad in October, November comfortably. Otherwise, there we'll have to hurry up. So now I've assigned you all some Gandhar work related to 3rd chapter. So are you ready? So for Kashai, see.
I am starting.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
please take the page number of Charitra Mohaniya Karma. We are doing the 3rd chapter in which we are discussing the sufferings of the world from the karma point of view, then from Char Gati point of view, and the general understanding of suffering. The general understanding of suffering is the 4 kinds of desires, which we have finished. Then we are doing from the karma angle point of view. And then we'll do Mokshka Sukh. With that, this 3rd chapter will end. So I'm not going to do this 3rd chapter. You all are going to do for 5 minutes or whatever minutes the presentations, and then I'll add my inputs to it, and that's how we'll cover the 3rd chapter. And then I'll give you the summary of 4th chapter, that is what is Mithya Darshan Gyan Charitra. There we have already studied the 7 types of tattvas, the 7 tattva related, the fallacies related to 7 tattvas, which also you should be doing it, right? And then I will be adding to it. With that, we will be ending the portion for the September. So are you all ready? Are you all ready? So again, I'll tell, Saurabh is going to do the Kashai Ka Swarup,
Yep.
Charitra Mohaniya Karma, and then we'll have Shobhaji doing the 3rd part. Where is Shobhaji? Is she there? I don't know if Shobha madam is there.
She
She's
is
not.
not in today, ma'am. She said she can't make it today. Last week itself. Yeah.
Okay, then fine. And then Paras Bhai will do the No Kashai.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, are you all 3 ready?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then I'll be
I'm
putting
ready,
my
ma'am.
inputs. Yes,
Yeah.
so you can take 5-10 minutes and do the Kashai part. Yes,
Okay. I'll start, ma'am.
yes. Please tell the page number to everybody.
I have got the Hindi book, which is page 52.
Hmm.
I'll just have to check in the English one.
Yes, you can start. All please be ready with your portion so that we go line by line. In the Friday class, we did the Antaray Karm and the Tiryansh Gati Ke Dukh. And then we did Manushya Gati Ke Dukh, and then we'll be doing Kashai, No Kashai later on. But I'll request you all to go line by line.
Okay.
Yes. So we have done Darshan Mohaniya, which is the root cause of all suffering. Okay, now Charitra Mohaniya.
Jai Jinendra, everyone. Today, Panditji is going to unravel another mystery and bust one of our commonly experienced myth around Charitra Mohaniya Kashai. As we know, Charitra Mohaniya Kashai composes of 2 different sections. One is Kashai and one is No Kashai. I would be basing my speech around the Kashai of Charitra Mohaniya character. We commonly experience or would have experienced and witnessed that Kashais or passions have been successful in achieving the target or desires that we would have made on the day. So we often say that if we want to get some things done, we have to be more angry, or we have to be more, or something on those lines. Today, Panditji is going to give us an understanding where we are going wrong in that belief and why we are always ending up in the suffering end. So I will be using the Hindi terms as Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh instead of the English terms. Hopefully that will be understandable to everyone. And I'll be using the term he when I'm meaning he and she both. First to go on with is the Krodh Kashai. So when a Jeev experiences the rising of Krodh Kashai, he plans schematic plans to cause harm to the other beings or the target audience. In doing so, he uses different type of plants, and we would have often seen it as an example where in a street, say neighbors take up some kind of fight, or two shopkeepers adjacent to each other, they take up the fight, which starts with initially in arguments and loud noises. When it does not get sorted, it goes to the extent of abusive words. They become very strongly abusive and use foul languages to make their points clear. If they still don't succeed with their desire, they go on to bashing each other. They use physical powers to hit each other. When this does not happen, then they also even go up to the extent of calling their accomplices, or what we in Hindi language call giving supari to someone to cause that harm to that person. We also notice that sometimes even when people who we respect want to fall in between these fights and sort it out, we show our disrespect to those people as well. So when a man is in a severe rage of anger, and anger kasha is at its highest peak, he does not have the ability to think rightfully, and that's why his behavior becomes very unruly. Sometimes we also come to know about examples or events happening in our community where when things don't go the way we desire it, people even go on to cause self-harm and commit suicide, which is what we often see in the news. So this is all understandably the reason why the reason of arousal of the Krodh Monia Kashai. Panditji tells us that anything that we think of or want to have a desire of is only going to be accomplished if all the five samvais happen to fall into place. Otherwise, no matter whatever our kashayas are rising, we will never be able to achieve what we desire. Then the next kashai I would be talking about is the Man Kashai, which I can say I personally believe that I have often experienced it in myself, where I feel in my professional life, sometimes I feel that I am more qualified than others working with me, and I would want to make things happen the way I want to, without considering the hierarchy of activity. So so when a person experiences arousal of Man Monia Kashai, he wants to show his supremacy to the others, and in that desire, he keeps planning a lot of schemes. A very typical example that comes to my mind is the wedding of the daughter of Mukesh Ambani and Piramal's son. It was an event that was so pompous that it took attention of people across the globe, and even people in my workplace who don't know Ambanis or anyone of that nature thought, how could somebody be spending so much of money for a small event like a wedding? So this is where the Man Kashai comes into play, and the person who is experiencing that Man Kashai wants to show off his superiority by demeaning others, belittling others, even going to the extent of spending more than what he can afford to show his supremacy. And at point when he is not able to justify or is not able to experience his desire accomplished, he can even cause self-harm and also commit suicide because of that. So this is the severe consequence of arousal of Charitam Monia Kashai. The third one I would be wanting to talk about is the Maya Kashai, which is deceitful activity. And we all are experienced in this. We often come across being victims of being deceitfully cheated, or we ourselves, I would talk about myself, that I would have even committed certain deceitful activities. So here also, Panditji has given us a few examples where people, when they have that fit of risal of Maya Kashai, what kind of schematic representations or plans they do. So you would have seen, we are very much experienced in this, often in terms of our day-to-day grocery purchasing or purchasing anything, or even trying to get our ways around certain things. Like if a child is not going to do the homework, then the parents would tell them, okay, we will give you some gift or some toffees or chocolates or something like that to make them work that or do that work. So deceitful activity is a very commonly observed activity, which just show us that the desire is strongly arising and is strongly supported by the activity that we do. The last one that I would be talking about is the Moha Maya and the Lobh Kashai. So the Lobh Kashai is the most difficult Kashai to be able to overcome. And the reason being that it is sometimes so deeply engrossed that unless we observe this Lobh Kashai, we don't even agree to the fact that we have that Lobh Kashai arising. And we often, here again, Panditji says that when the person experiences the arousal of Lobh Kashai, they would be again planning some schemes to grab power, grab money, grab whatever they can from other target audience so that they can get their desires fulfilled. I would say that in my day-to-day activity, even sometimes being in a business kind of situation, there would be a lot of activities that we would be doing where there is a subconscious desire to achieve more than what we are able to give back. So that itself is showing that the Lobh Kashai is still existent within me. To sum this up, I will just give you a small example to end up. And I would like to seek forgiveness from all the female participants on this forum, because this example probably would be hitting them hard. The example is where I in a setting in this scene, I am owning a sari shop in a very highly allied place in a marketplace. And my desire is to make more and more money out of this business. So one day it so happens that I come across a very familiar lady coming to my shop. And as soon as I see her, I know that she spends a lot of money in my shop. So I would be planning to make the most out of her into my shop. So as soon as she comes in, my Lobh Kashai is starting to arise, and I would think, okay, today I'm not going to leave her without she spending at least 50,000-60,000 rupees in my shop. So I would be personally attending to her, and as she comes into my shop and I approach her. My Maya Kashai starts playing up, and I talk to her in very sweet tongue, and I say, okay, you haven't been here for a while. We're missing your patronage, and this business is working only because of you, and all those things. And then I order some nice food for her, and then I tell her that I've just received a new stock of designer saris, which I just want to show you before I can show it to someone else, and I don't want to sell to anyone else before I do it to you. So I'll give you a salesperson who will go through with you, and if you once you've done with that, before you leave, you can come and see me. So I go and sit in my office thinking of how much am I going to make money out of it. And before I go, she also talks very highly about me. She says that you are such a nice merchant, you look after your customers very well. Why don't you teach the same thing to the other merchants? So this also is where my Man Kashai is arising, and it is being supplemented by this thought. And then when I sit in my office, and after about 2 hours, the lady comes to me and she says, I'm very pleased with the material that you brought in, but unfortunately, they don't meet my requirements for today. So I couldn't buy anything today. So I didn't say anything to her, but as soon as she left, I was very angry with the salesperson, and that anger Kashai was telling me, rising in me. And I said, what a foolish person you are. You wasted 2 hours of my time without making any money for me. So at that point of time, my shoulder is being tapped by Panditji, and Panditji tells me, relax, young man, what you are thinking of and what you are trying to achieve is never going to happen. You need to understand that for anything to happen, the 5 samvayas have to fall into place. So whatever would have happened was how it should be. So you should not let your kashais overcome you, and your desires will never come true unless you work towards them. So with that, I end my presentation. And if any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Okay. Wonderful, Saurabh-ji. You've made a very fine presentation. Now, I would like to give my personal touch to the Kashai chapter, and you explained with an example. So, how the Kashai are ruling us, ruling our psyche, right? Psyche and the soul is a mere witness to all that. So, understanding that I am that, and then when you understand that you are that witness, then you will not be party to all the Anantanubandhi Kashai. Right? They will start getting arrested. So when your Kashai starts getting arrested, with the awakening inside, that only will break the Anantanubandhi Kashai first, and eventually the other Kashai will go. But without the Anantanubandhi Kashai falling, you may have the mild Kashai, but then again, that is also a state of Kashai only. Okay. So now we will request you all to take the Kashai chapter, and here Acharya Pandit Kalp Todarmalji Sahib is given us after Darshan Mohaniya. We have to see, you have to again and again read the 3rd chapter. Then only you'll be thorough with what is going to come ahead. Otherwise, you all will be lost. So first he says, what is the meaning of the word Charitra Moha? First of all, Charitra means absorption in the self, experience of the self. Observe the observer, experience the experiencer, know the knower, see the seer. First have the right understanding of it, then the Darshan Mohaniya goes. And once the Darshan Mohaniya goes, you want to be with your own self. You want to be with your own self. That is Darshan Mohaniya is checked. Now you visit yourself and you experience that Gyaya Bhav. That is when the Charitra Moha will start getting diluted. So understanding the self, your Anantanubandhi Charit Kashai is gone. So 99% of the Charitra has set in. When Darshan Mohaniya and Anantanubandhi Kashai are dropped, 99% of the Charitra has been accomplished. And the Apratyakyan, Pratyakyan, Sanjwalan, they are all just 1% of it, and they can be eventually checked. For this, I gave you the number 11,111. Have I given you this number? 11,111. Who will tell me what is that? Hello, Malar madam, Guna madam, Paras bhai.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what
With
is 11,111?
with reference to Mithya Darshan Avriti, that chapter, ma'am. Avriti, then Brahma, Kashai, and Yoga.
Very good. And what does it signify?
We have to check that Mithya Darshan first. When that Mithya Darshan is corrected, that one, the first digit will go. Then what remaining will be 100, like that we can reduce it. Instead of checking Yoga first, it is not going to, if you check Yoga first, it's not going to help us in any way.
Very good, very good. So 11,111. In that, the first one, not the tens units one, the 11,000, the 10,000 place, that one is Mithyat. That is a Darshan Moha. That a Darshan Moha includes the chunk of the Charitra Moha. That is Anantanubandhi, Krodman, Maya. And these two will go together. They will be together and they will drop together. Okay. So either it will be Upsham of Charitra Moha, Darshan Moha, or Kshayopsham or Kshay. And complete, see, first Upsham will lead to Kshayopsham, then Kshayopsham will lead to Kshay of these two. So these two means what? Darshan Moha and Anantanubandhi Krodman Mayan. Kashai, the fourfold Kashai. Okay, so the fourfold Anantanubandhi Kashai, you are fighting a battlefield. You are killing somebody. You are giving a judgment. You are giving a capital punishment to a criminal. You are hitting somebody hard. You are fighting a war. All this doesn't come under Anantanubandhi Krodman Mayan. You matlab we matlab the jeev, not realizing its pure potential comes under Anantanubandhi Krodhman. Okay, in our today morning's Jaina lecture, our coordinator, she said a very fantastic thing, and I'm going to remember her for always. For example, after Paryushan and Daslakshan, we go and ask Michhami Dukram from everybody. We send on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and to all our foreign friends and all those people. But you must have been offended by your spouse. You must have offended him or her. You must have been cut off with your neighbor. You must have been cut off with a very close person. But you don't ask forgiveness from them. So then the crime is a greater one. You don't ask forgiveness from the world, it's okay. But if you don't ask forgiveness from earth, water, fire, air, and plants, and the mobile beings, whom you are always crushing and using, they are all your immediate family. You're not asking forgiveness from them. You're not asking forgiveness from the family members, and you're still off with them. So that is a greater crime. Now, your family is more close to you than your neighbors or than your Facebook family. And even more close is your soul. Okay, you did not become friend of your soul by getting Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitra. That is Anantanubandhi Kasha. You got me, dear? So we are reading this 5 years of Parmagam so that we become our own friend. We get Ratnatre, and then the real Kshama, Uttama Kshama will start. And along with Uttam Kshama, all the 10 Dharma, Dasalakshan Dharma will start. And when all the Dasalakshan will start, the 18,000 ways of non-violence will start. And then only that 18,000 ways we are doing the Kashai will drop. The Charitra Moha will drop. And you know those 18,000 ways? Can I give it to you over here? Can you write it down? They are the 18,000 Shilanga Ratha. Now, I'm not the host, so I cannot share the board. Why should I waste my energy to tell you that I should be allowed to start the board? The team leaders, what are you doing?
Ma'am, I can't do that. Only Kapil can do that.
Then why don't you get the rights from him when you come to the class?
Earlier it was coming. Nowadays it's not coming.
No, you should be the host. I think Zoom has changed its settings. So only the host can make others do things.
Yes, ma'am.
And Kapil is not in the class. Very sad. Okay, you catch up with me on later on when the board is available. When I'm the host, only then I can share the board. And there I can teach you the 18,000 Shilang Rath, because I have to draw the chariot of 18,000 and show it to you. Okay, so just wait till then. Or I would like to finish it up right now. So you write down. You draw 3 columns. I'll do it over here. You all see it. It's so difficult now. You have to draw like this. I'll draw it and show you. Draw a box with 3 columns. Okay, like that. Draw another box below it with 4 columns, like this. One below the other, you have to keep drawing the columns. Then draw another column with 5 blocks, like this. Okay. Then draw another column.
Can you do it? Can you try now, ma'am? Because I reclaim the host and then trying to make you as a co-host or.
Yeah, got it. You have to do it like this. See, you have the Shilanga Ratha in both Digambar and Shwetambar tradition. What I'm giving you is the Shwetambar one. You can refer to the Digambar and give it to me. It is there. Make 10 over here. Got it, dear? Now here you have to write Krita Karita Anumodita. Here you have to write Man Vachan Kaya. Here you have to write the 4 instincts: Ahar Sangya, Bhaya Sangya, Methun Sangya, Parigra Sangya. Then 5 senses, 5 sense pleasures. And then here you have earth. I'll go slowly. Hello. Here you have earth. In this line, you have to write earth, water.
Ma'am, the third line, can you repeat, ma'am? The third.
It is the 4 instincts, 4 instincts. Ahar Sangya, Bhaya Sangya, Methuna Sangya, Parigra Sangya. And these are the 5 sense pleasures. So in the next one, 10, you have to write earth, water, fire, air, plants, living beings, earth-bodied, vagara. And then you have 2 sensed, 3 sensed, 4 sensed, 5 sensed, and non-living things. And here you have the 10 lakshana, Dasa Lakshana Dharma. That is Supreme, Shama, Madhav, etc. in the last column. The last one is the base, the base. Once you're all done, let me know, dear.
Ma'am, what's the first row? Can you repeat, please?
Krita Karita Anumodita. To do, to ask others to do, to approve of those who do. Or not to do, not to ask others to do, not to approve of those who do. Anything that you don't understand, you please ask me or fill it up and try to explain it. Now, you have to multiply the lower 10 with the second 10. So how much you get 10 into 10?
100.
10 into 10, 100. 100 you multiply with the 5.
500.
So 500 you multiply with 4.
2000.
2000 into 3.
6,000.
6000.
1000 into 3.
18,000.
So the combination of doing violence and non-violence.
Okay.
Sometimes you're doing with man, you're nurturing the ahar sangya, then earth bodied. So when you now listen to me very carefully. Darshan moha is not understanding the self, not understanding the 10 lakshan of the Atma. Any object you know only by its lakshan. For example, I ask you, describe the ocean. So you'll be describing the properties, the characteristics of ocean. Then we will say, okay, you know the ocean. It is an unfathomable mass of water, salty water, etc. Then we understand that, okay, you know what an ocean is. So you're not describing the ocean, you're actually describing the characteristics of the ocean. And we understand that your knowledge, your lakshya of knowing the ocean is correct. Likewise, talking about soul, but not knowing the 10 lakshan of the Atma. The Dasa lakshan, the supreme properties. So Atma is Ananta Kshama Mardhav Arjav Satya Shaucha Brahmacharya Swarupa. Understanding that Atma is Ananta Anubandhi Kashaya is gone. Understanding the Dasa Lakshana Swarup Atma, your Darshan Moha and your maximum Charitra Moha is dropped. So now you have to experience the 10 Lakshan again and again and again. And you don't come out of your soul. And that time you don't cause any harm to these life forms. Earth, water, fire, air, plants, Bendriya, Tendriya, Chaurendriya, Panchendriya, and all non-living things also you don't disturb them. And then you don't take to the 5 sense pleasures. You're not nurturing the 4 instincts by thought, word, and deed. And you're not doing it. You're not asking others to do. You're not approving of those who do. This is the true form of non-violence, which includes Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, and Samyak Charitra. Now, you may not be following the Das Lakshan, but the gross way of non-violence you're following. You're not killing anybody by thought, word, and deed. You're not nurturing the 4 instincts. You're not behind the sense pleasures. You're not causing any harm to, you're in meditation. But you have the knowledge of the 10 Purvas, but you don't know the Dasa Lakshana Atma. Then Anantanubandhi Kashaya is at work. Darshan Mohonia is not checked. So by doing these practices, observing all this, you get Punya. That Punya will take you to Devalok. Up to 9th Gravek, you can go. But after all the Punya karma you have enjoyed, what happens? The Mithyatva was intact. That will take you back to Nigot. And that is maximum violence to your own self. Understood, dear? Charitra Moha and Darshan Moha. So
Yes, ma'am.
understanding the Dasa Lakshan Swarup Atma is checking the Darshan Moha and the Anantanubandhi Kasha. So you're not angry with your own self. You know your Dasa Lakshan Swarup Atma. Now when you know the Dasa Lakshan Swarup Atma, will you not be careful in using these resources? Will you be mad after the sense pleasures and the 4 instincts? Will you abuse your thought, word, and deed? Will you allow them to roam freely outside? No, you will check them all. And checking them all is the Apratyakyan, Pratyakyan, Sanjvalan, Charitra Moha. Understood? But first the Anantanubandhi Kashaya has to be checked, and that can be checked by understanding the Dasa Lakshana Swarupa Atma. So 10 days you have done the Dasa Lakshan celebration. Now 365 days the application should happen. You understand? So every moment should be Dasa Lakshan festival inside going on. The festivities are on, celebration is on. For that, you get the congratulation. Okay, now come to the 4th Gunasthan. Oh, then you come to the 7th Gunasthan. Oh, then you come to the 12th Gunasthan. Then you come to the 13th Gunasthan. So it is when you evolve on the ladder of Gunasthan, it is a congratulatory notes that the soul is sending to itself, not in the literal sense, but in a philosophical and spiritual sense. You understand, dear?
Yes,
All of you
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
very well.
Very, very well explained, ma'am.
The reference of this 18,000 Shilang Rath is the Uttradhyan Sutra. And even in the Shvetamba tradition, somebody traced that reference and give it to me. I remember having read it somewhere recently, but I don't remember exactly. I'll have to fix it. Maybe it was Chedala or the footnotes of Chedala or the Dravya Sangra. I'll have to trace. So if you can help me trace it, I will really appreciate it. Okay. So now you get angry with your family. That is actually not called Anantanubandhi Kashaya in Jainism. That is all Sanjvalan Kashaya. Okay. And I've given you the example, non-acceptance. You're not able to come to terms with life and living. You want things to happen your way, the desire. That desire propels the Ragadvesh. The Ragadvesh propels the Kashaya. And the Kashaya propels the person to go behind the sense pleasures. And this in turn propels us to take violence of earth, water, fire, air, and plant-bodied beings. You understand? So the root cause is not being aware of your own self. That because of that, the desires are unlimited. So that unlimited Kashaya is Anantanubandhi Kashaya. So the more and more you understand your soul, you will limit everything. You cannot be without 50 sets of clothes. Okay, have 50. Beyond that, tyag. Or you cannot be with wealth. Okay, $2 million is enough, or 50 million is enough. Beyond that, I renounce. You want 3 or 4 houses. Okay, beyond that, I renounce. You cannot be without globe trotting. Okay, 10 countries in a year, I'll go. Beyond that, I renounce. So there is no tyag in Shravak Vrat. It's only Sanyam, it's only Maryada. And the more Maryada you do, the more focused you become, and the more internalization of your Ratnatraya happens. Clear? Got it? How the Vratas will, see, when the 10,000 debt is gone, even that 1,000 your becomes weak, no? So like that, your Vrata spirit is enhanced. So when the Vrata spirit is enhanced, the Apramad, the Akashai, and the Yoga Pravarti also is arrested. That quotient also increases. So Pramad, Kashai, and Yoga also become weak. Then you can say that, yes, your learning is in the right direction. The more you want to be in Nivritti, the more you want to be with the Vratas, the more you want to be with Swadhyay and Sanyam and Tap, then you should understand that your learning is in the right direction. So I always tell my students that Tap should be, your Swadhyay should be supplemented with some Tap or the other. One second. Bolo. Sorry, there was an urgent disturbance, whatever, distraction. So you understood? You understood? So if you're really doing Swadhyaya in the right direction, Namu, you have to take you tell Vaiki is sorry, dear. So you understand. So Gyan is increasing inside means the barometer, your thermometer for that is the Tap is increasing. Charitra is increasing. Vrata's culture is increasing. The spirit of renunciation is increasing. Understood, dear? I know. For example, the desire to go to US is there. Then preparing for the ticket, preparing for the shopping, getting all the funds and everything. So all the preparation starts or not. In the same way, when you've understood that I am that, then all this is not me, then you stop visiting them. All the unnecessary things drop. Only the bare minimum things you will take to. That is the Shravakacha. And no material things, only focused on spiritual things. That is the ascetic life. So all this comes under the getting rid of the Charitra Moha. And you understand how it begins? It begins with the understanding of the self. So even though you're taking to Rag, Dvesh, Kashai, but understanding that I am not the one who is doing it. I am a knower and seer. And this is happening because of my karma uday. And I have to refrain from them. That spirit of refraining is checking the Anantanubandhi Kasha. And not being able to refrain from it is the uday of the Charitra Mohaniya karma. Am I with all of you? I can see Saurabh nodding, but Paras Bhai, Mahendra ji, are you all able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here they are telling that in anger you want to harm others. But here they are telling, because of the Darshan Moha, you're already harming yourself by not liberating it, by not manifesting the pure potential. You are causing the avaran on it. You're conditioning your soul in the samsara. So you are doing the maximum harm to your own self, and that is called Anantanubandhi Kasha. Now I'll request you all to take chapter 4. In chapter 4, there is one very beautiful passage on page number 2 of the 4th chapter. Here they are telling us, I hope you all have tuned into that page. There they are telling us that a person, who a Dravyalingi Muni. A Dravyalingi Muni means he's a Muni externally, who has knowledge up to the 11 Angas. Okay, 11 Angas or some part of Purvas or whatever it is. And he also has Avdi Gyan, etc. And all this is there because Jnana Varniya Karma ka Kshayaksham is there. One person is able to memorize many, many things, know many, many things. He knows microbiology, biotechnology, all the pharmacy names, all the medical names, all the big, big books, mein jo bhi naam hai, he knows. Because uske Jnana Varniya Karma ka subsidence cum destruction is there. So is this a guarantee that you will get self-realization? So they say no. He is not read the Prayojan Bhut Tattvas. He is not read the pure soul things. He is not read the 7 Tattvas. Or even if he is read, like in Gyara Anga, he is read, but he is not applied it. He doesn't have the pratiti. It is given over there. He doesn't have the pratiti of his pure self. Pratiti means what? Anuman, inference. Realize I am that, I am. Now, what is that will be clear only when you get Kevalya. But Paroksh Roop mein, Mati Shrut Roop mein, you get Pratiti of yourself. Okay, even though you have not renounced the world, you don't know the 11 Angas. For you means for that Jeev, maximum Charitra has started. Understand? It's very clearly over there. A Tiryanch Jeev, he may not have the Jnana Varniya Karma ka Kshayaksham. Subsidence cum destruction. But if he knows the Jeevadi Tattvas, oh, I'm a Jeev, I'm not a dog, I'm not a cat, I'm not a lion, I'm not a snake, I'm a pure soul. He may not know the name pure soul, but he knows that I am a silent witness to everything. I'm not the doer of all this. Then for that person, even though the Jnana Varniya Kshayaksham is not there, the Darshan Moha Kshayaksham is there. So he gets Samyak Darshan. So the hindrance for Darshan Moha is not less knowledge or more knowledge, but it is the realization of the Jnana Swabhavatma. So when you understand the Jnana Swabhavatma, that is the Prayojan Bhut Tattva. That is going to get you the momentary happiness and the eternal happiness. Vartaman mein Sacha Sukh ka Anubhav can happen by the understanding of the self, getting rid of Darshan Moha. And eternally you realize that, you keep realizing that, you keep absorbing in that. Then on one side your Charitra Moha is diluted, on other side the pure potential is manifested. That is the way to check all the Kashaya. That is the way to check first the Darshan Mohaniya Kashaya related Anantanubandhi, and then the remaining Charitra Mohaniya Kashaya. Okay, so what is anger? First it is having the desire to harm the self and harm others. So I gave the example of having that hot iron rod and trying to hit somebody. So whether that person is hit or not, he may run away from there. But you are catching hold of a hot iron rod, your hands are burning. So first bhav himsa happens inside you. Then you take the rod, dravya himsa. First you had the desire to hit somebody, bhav himsa. Then you took the rod, dravya himsa. Then you hit somebody, so dravya himsa to that person. Then that person suffers. Then that is bhav himsa to that person. So whether you do dravya himsa or bhav himsa to somebody or not, but the very thought that you can do, you are doing, you want to do, all that krita karita anumodita.
Ma'am, I've got a doubt here.
Sorry, dear. So that was her father. Yes. So, bolo.
You mean to say just by just by getting the Sharisham of Charitra Darshana Mohaniya or Charitra Mohaniya, you can get rid of Jnana Varniya Karma at the end.
Exactly. When the
Appearance of-
Charitra Mohaniya karma drops, the very next moment Jnanavarniya Darshanavarniya Antarai drops. So
Okay,
who
yes.
causes the Jnanavarniya Darshanavarniya Antarai? It is the Charitra, the Mohaniya karma. And not
Okay,
less.
that's the scaffold for that's the scaffold for all the three. All the three, yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
But if the Jnanavarniya goes off, Darshanavniya will not go off.
See, in the 12th Gunasthan, the Charitra Mohaniya is checked. And in the last Samaya of the Charitra Mohaniya, the Jnanavarniya, Darshanavarniya, Antarai, together all the three drop. And the next moment, the Keval Gyan, Keval Darshan manifests.
Correct.
So who's stopping your Keval Gyan, Keval Darshan? It is the Mohaniya karma, not the Jnanavarniya.
Correct. But just by knowing or dropping of Jnanavarniya karma only, we'll get to know what is a soul and things like that.
No. You will know the soul only when the Darshan Moha is dropped. The Dravyalingi Muniraj Jnanavarniya is dropped. He is knowing it. He is knowing the pure soul verbally, but not spiritually. Verbally means Vachan se man. He knows what things are. I'm a pure soul. He'll give a book on it. He'll do a PhD on it. He'll give a lecture on it, but without any realization of it.
Basically, the experience of the soul by itself is the drop of, that's the starting point to drop the Mohaniya karma.
No. Experience of the pure soul will happen at the Muni Dasha. But the determination that I am a pure soul, just the determination, Nirnay, will make the Darshan Mohani and the Anantanubandhi Kashai to drop. You understand? For that only we are doing this 5 years of study. Got it, dear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Very good. Very good. If you ask questions like this only, I can give more insights. Otherwise, I'll assume that you will build up things. I'm trying to do my best at this end. Okay. Just give me a minute. I need to drink some water. It's my upvas. My porsi has come. So just you all read. And I will request the next person to be ready with the no kashai part. So the Kashai part, Saurabh has explained what is there in the book. And I have tried to give more insights into the more advanced level of things. So both together will help you. So now I'll request the no Kashai person, Kaun hai Paris bhai, to come forward. Yes. I hope you all are enjoying this way of studies.
Sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. Should I, ma'am?
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Jai Jinendra, everyone. I will be talking about the no kashais. There are 9 no kashais, and I'll try and make an attempt to explain them in brief.
Paras bhai, disturbance in your audio, Paras bhai.
Okay, am I audible now?
Thoda aur clarity chahiye. There is some
maybe some net issue.
Disturbance.
Yeah, can you hear me now? I'm a little loud now.
Huh.
Okay, fine. Yeah. When there is hasya kashai, that is laughter, the jiva keeps on smiling, all the time. Be it a noisy laughter or a smile, both of them, they fall in the hasya kashai category. Even if he's suffering from some disease or illnesses, he keeps on smiling. He thinks he's happy despite suffering from several maladies, but actually he is miserable, which he does not realize. But a deeper insight will, by himself, will make him realize that it is not that he is happy, but actually he is deeply miserable. When he gets affected by rati or a liking passion, he tends to get attracted to the smallest of objects. The jiva is doting on its favorite thing. The strong attraction is like that of a cat with a mouse in her mouth. When a cat carries its baby, the catch is very different. But when a cat carries a mouse in her mouth, it is very different. The mouse cannot really escape it. So Rati is something like that. The cat considers himself to be very happy, but it is absolutely passionate about the mouse, and therefore it is also very insecure about the fact that if the mouse escapes, it will make it very, very unhappy. So the Jiva similarly considers himself to be very happy when he is Rati, is suffering from a Rati passion, but does not realize that he is actually insecure about losing his favorite thing, and therefore stays extremely miserable. Similarly, when he is affected by Arati or the disliking passion, he is sad about possessing or getting associated with something that gives unhappiness. So he tries to get away from that object, but if he is unable to, it causes him great amount of anguish and misery. Similarly, when he is affected by the shoka or sorrow passion, he is anxious and miserable about things that he wants and does not have, and about things that he has but does not want to have. He gets angry, cries, shouts, and could even injure himself when he is in a shock mood or the sorrow passion. This again, actions indicate that he is in a very, very miserable state. When he is affected by the bhaya or a fear passion, he is afraid of the object or thing which he thinks injure him or make him unhappy. He runs away from that thing, hides or runs away, overwhelmed with fear, and may even kill himself to protect himself from such thing. He's so overwhelmed by the fear. Fear is always one of the most powerful passions that the Jiva has, and makes him extremely insecure. When he's affected by the Jugupsa or the disgust passion, he starts hating unwanted things that get associated on their own. He wishes to get away from those things until he can rid himself of that thing, because he stays miserable. So Jugupsa also adds to the extreme misery that people are usually are. When he is overwhelmed by carnal desires, these are the three Veds, the Purush Ved, the Stree Ved, and the Napusak Ved. He wishes to indulge in sexual acts. He is extremely miserable during the period of this desire. He is angry, distressed, shameless, spendthrift, and is not afraid of any punishment. He has sex fever. It's actually a fever. He is completely overwhelmed by this passion and could even die due to the magnitude of this passion, and which indicates that he is, in the throes of one of the most powerful passions, and therefore he is extremely miserable and unhappy. The Jiva tries to fulfill these passions. If one of them is unfulfilled, if one of them is fulfilled, the other immediately springs up. So at one point of time, the Panditji mentions that there is only one passion that happens, and once that is over, the other immediately springs up. He continues to be full of either of these passions until the end of his life. These passions are intense and more painful than death. The only way of eradicating these passions is by eradicating moha, by focusing on the self. Jai Jinendra. That's it from me, ma'am.
Paras bhai. Paras.
Yeah.
Kya?
Yeah, I'm through with my presentation. Am I audible?
Yes, Paras bhai. I was there. I was on another call also and listening to you also. Multitasking. So you made a good presentation, I could see, but then there are many, many things that I would like to add in my own way. I hope you all are open and receptive to that. So you have
yes,
covered
ma'am.
what is given in the book. You have covered. First thing is you have to understand that hasya does not mean laughter or smiling.
Oh, okay.
Even though that hasya, you understand hasna, but that hasna is not laughter or smiling, because all the Tirthankar Pratima, you see, they are in the smiling mudra, no? So smiling is a very, 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 very important thing. We should know how to smile. See, the children laugh, they smile, they are happy, so they grow. We have forgotten to laugh and smile, so we grow old. You understand what I'm trying to say? Happiness, when it is inside, no, it will be reflected on your face, on your smile. You understand? Jeev ka swarup anand hai na, and that gyan mein anand aa raha hai, It will be reflected on your face, on your smile, in your eyes, the twinkle in your eyes, it will be reflected. So hasya does not mean laughter or smile. Then what does it mean? It means taking delight in all the material affairs. Taking to the material affairs is a majburi. But there is no need to take delight in them, no? Eating food is a compulsion. But why do you have to do rag dvesh with that food? You understand what I'm telling? When you have rag, what you're taking delight in, you'll have the rati for it.
Correct.
So write down, hasya and rati will go together.
You just preempted me, ma'am. I was just
Yes.
about to ask you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You understand? So there's no 9 quasi passions. The no kashai are called as quasi passions. What is the meaning of the word quasi? It is like the threshold of a house. It is not that the threshold is a part of the house, and it is not that it is not a part of the house. है ना, वो घर भी नहीं है और घर नहीं है ऐसा भी नहीं. The threshold of your house. Likewise, the no kashai and the no karma. All the word no means Quasi. The quasi karmas, the quasi passions, and the mind is called as a quasi sense organ. The mind is not that it is a sense organ, and it is not that it is a sense. That is why it is called the sixth sense. You understand, dear? All of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, I just wanted to, you were just about to explain the difference between hasya and rati.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
So first I explained the word no kashai. Now I'm going to explain each one. So now this charitra mohaniya karma, first of all, you should understand, I'll give it on the board. All of you, please memorize this chart. First, you have the mohaniya karma, which is the commander in chief. Now, it has 28 soldiers, not soldiers, 28 components of this mohaniya karma. Here you have darshan mohaniya, the 2 main components. Under darshan mohaniya, you have 3. You can understand simply as mithyatva. That is wrong understanding, wrong pratiti, wrong realization, wrong determination, wrong attitude. All together, you can call it as mithyatva. Now, we'll not go into the details of this. That we can see later on when we do Gunasthan chapter. This is 3, okay? This charitra mohaniya is of 2 types. Kashai, no kashai. Darshan mohaniya is that which deludes your understanding. And charitra mohaniya is that which deludes your experience. That is your conduct. Every moment experience is happening, but you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is darshan mohaniya. Then you don't have the right experience of the soul. And you have the experience of the moha raga dvesh. Together it is moha raga dvesh is called as mohaniya karma. So that raga dvesh, okay, now this jiva is jnana swabhav. But every moment it is taking to rag. That is not the dosha. Taking to rag is not a dosha. We consider it as dosha. But Jainism says, not understanding the Gyan Swabhav Atma and not having the right determination that I am that. I am not this rag. Every moment both are happening. So not having the oneness with this Gyan Swabhav and considering oneself to be the rag dvesh and the doer of rag dvesh is charitra mohaniya. Considering is darshan mohaniya. And nurturing that rag is charitra mohaniya. So now when you understand that I am this, I am not this. This is my ari. Ari means enemy. Now you want to overcome it. You want to overcome it. You're not able to overcome it is not a weakness. You are not wanting to overcome it is the greatest flaw. Not wanting, not having the right attitude. Understood, dear? So you not wanting to get rid of it is Darshan Mohaniya. Not being able to get rid of it is Charitra Mohaniya. Okay, so now you determine reading Jinvani that I am the pure soul. I am the pure soul, which is Gyan Darshan Swabhav. And this Gyan Darshan Swabhav is me. This Rag is not me. And you stop taking to Rag and you start taking to Gyan Darshan Swabhav. Then your Jnanavaran goes, your Darshanavaran goes, your Mohaniya goes, and all your energy was used in taking to more Rag Dvesh. That is also arrested. Now your energy is getting internalized. So that is the Virya, Antaray Karma ka opposite. Clear? Now this Kashai is of this Mohaniya, Charitra Mohaniya karma, which is the conduct deluding karma, conduct behavior. So here you have the Kashai, which is of, again, 4 types. Intense, less intense, mild, and mildest. We call them as infinite bonding, less bonding, very mild bonding, and the mildest form of binding. And now the no Kashai are 9 in number. So we say 9, this no means no, means not 9, it means quasi passions. See, we should be passionate about something or the other in life. So you are passionate about self-realization. That also comes under passion. Then finally that will go, but eventually it will go, but not now. So all other passions, let it drop. Let us be passionate about increasing our spiritual quotient. Now listen to me. This Kashai, it springs from Rag, Moha, Rag, Dvesh. So I'll request you to take page number 41 of the Hindi book. There they have given, I'll give it to you separately in another chart that you ask me later on. I will give it to you. Okay. So there you will see that this Kashai is propelled by Rag and Dvesh. Rag and Dvesh. How? We'll see that later on. Now, this Rag is called as, now if you take this word Rag, R-A-G-A, how do you get this word Rag? It is with that R sound and A swar and G. So you remove this R. What is this word? Who will tell me?
Ag, ma'am.
Ag. So you see the fire in the Rag, the fire of rebirth, the fire of suffering. Then when you understand that this Rag is not me, I am that Gyan Swabhava Atma, that is when your Darshan Mohaniya and your intense form of Kashai will go. And then these 9 quasi passions, you will stop taking delight in all the mundane affairs. Eating, walking, talking, sleeping, fighting, working. You will do all of them because of your karmic rise, but you will stop taking rati. Rati means liking, fondness. Hello? You understand the 9 quasi passions I'm going to tell now? So
Yes, ma'am.
you're taking delight because you have the rati. Rati means Rag. Rati means Rag. Okay, so always this delight, Hasya is delight, and Rati will go hand in hand. When these 2 are not there, the other 2 will be there. What are they? Bhay and Arati. So bhai does not mean being fearful of the lion or the tiger. Not being in one's own soul is fear. For example, you close your eyes and you meditate on the soul, but you're not able to meditate. That is fear. You want to come out of yourself. That is bhai. Now, why do you have that bhai? So bhai, as we understand, is different, and as Jainism explains, is different. You have the 7 types of bhaya. I'll tell you one small example. You change from one thought to another. You're not sticking to one thought. That is bhaya. You don't find happiness there. You think in another thought, I'll get happiness. You go to one TV channel. You change the TV channel because you're not happy there. You're thinking you'll be happy over there. So that is called as dvesh. So when you're fearful of something, you hate it. You hate it. So you should not understand that fear and all the gross way, but at the very subtle way, I'm trying to show you things. And I hope you will appreciate that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And third pair is shok and jugupsa. Supposing somebody's got a pimple on the face, they find it very disgusting. They want to get rid of it. So arati is there, bhai is there. Oh my God, I'm going to go for the party and I have a pimple. I will not look my best. So you're scared of your image, right? And you take delight in having a very clear skin. You want it. So hasya is also there. Rati is also there. Bhai is also there. And arati is also there. You don't want it. And you want a clear skin. And then you grieve for it. So shok is there. So all the 6 no kashais are there. And why all this happens? Because you think you are a male or a female. You're a human being, so you should be at your best. You don't think yourself as a pure soul. You understand how all the no kashai are happening. Now, attraction for the male is called as Purush Ved. Attraction for the female is called Stri Ved. Even though you're a Purush, you may have attraction for the female. So Stri Ved. If a female has attraction for a female, it is Stri Ved. And if a person has attraction towards both, it is the Napumsak Veda. Okay, so just the attraction, taking delight, not being aware that I am the pure soul. So a Tiryansh can be aware of his pure soul and he may not take delight in all these things. He may not be fearful of these things. Sahaj ban jata hai. So he can get Samyak Darshan. And a person may have mastered the scriptures verbally, but he has no pratiti of the eternal pure soul. Then he is in the grip of the Darshan Mohaniya and the Charitra Mohaniya. He may have good Shayopsham of Jnanavaran, Darshanavaran, but it is not that Shayopsham related to Mohaniya Karam. So Mohaniya Karam related Jnanavarnya, Darshanavaran, Shayopsham is different. And without the Kshayopsham of Mohaniya Karam, Jnanavarnya, Darshanavaanya, Kshayopsham is different. For this, if you want to read, you should read more in Sarvartha Siddhi.
Ma'am, could you please repeat that, ma'am?
With the right understanding of the soul, you have the Kshayopsham of the Mohaniya Karam. With that, you have the Jnanavarnya, Darshanavaanya Kshayopsham. That will lead to Moksha, Marg and Moksha. But without checking the Kshayopsham of Mohaniya Karma, you're having good Kshayopsham of Jnanavarnya, Darshanavarnya, because of which you're able to have good general knowledge, 11 Angas ka Gyan, and you're a scientist, you're a doctor, you're an engineer. Is that a guarantee for moksha, self-realization? No. So the determination of reality, reading the 7 tattvas, you determine the nature of the soul, determine the Gyan Swabhav Atma, and don't take delight in Rag, Dvesh, Kashai. That Kshayopsham will help you to get rid of all the avaran on Gyan Darshan.
Ma'am, I got a doubt here.
Wait. I've really worked very hard to put in things. I hope you have understood that first. You tell me that first. Yes, now ask me what you want to ask.
you said first we need to cut off the Darshan Mohaniya, and then that might lead to Jnanavaran, right? Subsidence of Jnanavaran and all other karmas, not the other way around.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I thought through Jnanavaran karma subsidence only, we get into Darshan Mohaniya and break it.
Read the
If
second
that is not
page.
true,
Read the second page of the 4th chapter, last part in the Hindi book. Very
Correct,
clearly
ma'am.
they have told it is not the Jnanavaran, Darshavaran, the cause of Mohaniya. It's the other way. The Mohaniya is the cause of the Jnanavaran, Darshavaran.
correct. But my question here is, we as a human Manushya Paryay, we get little Jnanavaran subsidence. That's why we get little knowledge and the 6th sense. We can analyze and determine what is Prayojan Bhutatva. Those on the Ekindriya or other lower jivas, they can't differentiate things, and then they can't analyze the Prayojan Bhutatva, so they can't get into their own soul. They can't do the self-absorption. Just because we are in human Paryaya, we can, analyze, or we can do Veda Vigyan and do the 7
Get the
pairs
Samyak Darshan.
and then get into self-absorption. If that to be in Manushya Paryaya, there should be a little subsidence of the Jnanavaran karma, right, ma'am?
See, the Dravyalingi Muni has Jnanavarniya Karma subsidence. Then he should also be liable for Samyak Darshan then.
Yes.
A Dravyalingi
But
Muni.
he's not working on it. He's not getting through it.
Why is he not working on it? Why? What is blocking him from working on it? The Darshan Mohaniya Karma.
Okay.
So even though he has Jnanavarniya Kshaupsham, because he is in the Darshan Moh state, he is binding intense Jnanavarniya Karma.
Okay.
He is binding more intense Jnanavarniya Karma by nurturing this Darshan Mohaniya Karma, by not knowing the pure soul, by not reading the Jinvani and applying the logic and getting the right determination of the self. He is nurturing all the 4 Ghati Karmas. With the subsidence, Shaupsham of the Jnanavarniya, Darshanavarniya, he thinks he is the doer of Rag. He is the doer of Pravachan. He is the doer of writing the books. He is the doer of the Karma and Kashai and everything. He does not know that he is a doer of Gyan Darshan Swabhav. He may be a very good orator and writer and author and speaker. Because of his nimit, multitudes of people can get Samyak Darshan, but he remains in darkness. So there is a lamp. One second, there is a lamp which is spreading light, but under the lamp there is darkness. So that person can remain in darkness and other person can understand. Yes, dear.
You mean to say that Veda Vigyan can be done not with the help of the subsidence of Jnanavaran Karma. It's the subsidence of Darshan Mohaniya which leads to Veda Vigyan.
Exactly.
Okay, ma'am.
The Jnana Swabhav Atma is there in all the Jeev. All Nigod Jeev, 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, all are there. So Mati Shrut Gyan is there in all the Jeev. But it is in the wrong direction. You understand? It is in the wrong direction. When it gets the right direction, that Mati Shrut becomes Samyak Gyan, and that Mati Shrut creates the Keval Gyan.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay. That makes sense. Yes, ma'am.
So,
thank you.
there is a direct connection between Mati Shrut and Samyak Darshan, Mati Agyan, Shrut Agyan, and Mithya Darshan. Okay. So no doubt you have to read the Jinvani and apply it and do the Bheda Vigyan. Every moment awareness. I am that. I am not this. I am a that. I am that. I am not. Tattvam Asi. Aham Brahma Asmi. Thou art that. Appa so Paramappa. I am a supreme soul. I am a knower and seer. I am not the karma. I am not the kashai. I am not the kaya. Every moment, that anhat naad ki tarah, it vibrate, it is breathing in you, it's vibrating in you, that will remove the darshan mohniya karma. Understand? And then experience of that will remove the charitra mohniya. So coming face to face with the pure soul is samvar, and absorbing in the pure soul is nirjara, and not coming out of the pure soul is moksha. But first understand that you are a pure soul, no? Your gyan is ever pure. Every moment the gyan is there, but the understanding of that I am that gyan swabhav is not there. You understood? So gyan is there, but the oneness with the gyan swabhav will make the gyan right, will make the darshan right, will make the charitra right. And that is when the darshan mohniya, charitra mohniya will be checked. When this mohniya is checked, now you are respecting your gyan, darshan, swabhav, atma. So all the avaran on it go, and what shines is the gyan, darshan, keval gyan, keval darshan, swabhav, atma, which was inherently there, but you are not nurturing it. So all the avaran on it came. Hello, understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Understood how important these chapters are. And all these 8 chapters of Moksha Prakashak are a prelude to Ratnatraya, Samyak Darshan, Gyan, Charitra. But we won't read this 8 chapters. We won't get Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan. We won't take Charitra. We straight away want to do Tap. And we think, oh, by doing Tap, we will get all Moksha. So this understanding is Darshan Mohniya. So again and again and again, read Moksha Prakashak. You will get newer and newer meanings. Okay, so understood the 9 quasi-passions. Now listen to me again. The Kashai is the fire, and the no Kashai are the fuel. The Kashai will be burned, fire will burn. How long will the fire will burn? As long as you keep adding ghee to it, fuel to it, lakdi to it. Samajh mein aana how they do the yagya? They put all the cow dung cakes, they put all the fire, kya bole? Lakdi, then they add little ghee and then they light it. And then they keep pouring the ghee. Have you seen that? Ringa Ringa Roses at the time of the wedding. Ringa Ringa Roses hota hai na? शादी के टाइम में 7 फेरे. क्या करता है वो पुजारी? आपने उस समय नहीं ध्यान दिया होगा. And before sermonizing the vows, he will tell Savdhan. Still time is there, you run away from here, don't get into this bondage. No, we say, yes, 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 I am Savdhan. Pandit ji, chalo mantra path shuru karo, shadi karwao. You understand? So in Tamil also there's a movie, where the Pandit tells Savdhan and the boy runs away. And then the family members go behind him, catch him, and then again get him married. You understand? And then then the family members, the sister and the bhua and all, they'll try the Gadbandhan. The husband and wife, they'll be knotted. Okay, so the family puts the knots, but who removes the knots? The wife. After you're married, you're together, you say, now we'll remove all this. Then you khol dete. Aap nahi kholte ho, patni kholti hai. So the world puts you in the bondage, but the dharma patni will help you to get rid of bondage. She's a true spouse. She's a true life partner. You cannot walk alone on the path of spirituality. So you keep a companion who will tell you to walk on the right path. But these days, the women folk are more adharmic than the men folk. They also want drinks and drugs and cigarettes and partying and clubbing and doing all kind of antisocial things. They're not taking care of the children. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not taking care of the dharma, artha, kama, moksha tradition. Only artha and kama. Oh, we also want a job. All equality. I call this as bullshit. Women empowerment means spiritual, cultural, value-based empowerment. Then comes the economic empowerment. So health-wise, you have to be empowered. Emotion wise, you have to be empowered. You have to empower your children with the right education. You have to empower your husband with see that he is going on the right track. For that, you first have to be on the right track, no? But who are the listeners to all these things? Nobody wants to check all this. So Priya ma'am is not wanted by G2 or by anybody. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
I tried telling G2 people all these things, but they're not interested. And recently there was one very big event in Chennai, and that was a bridal story. You go and just Google G2 bridal story in Chennai. And we talk of aparigra and we are promoting flaunting all kinds of parigra. And that too on a, okay, I understand it's a Jain industrial trade organization. But remove the word Jain, man. Real Jainism is what we are doing in the class. Oh, it's a Jain engineering college, Jain medical college. But what Jainism are they teaching over there? Simply having the name Jainism will liberate you. It will only get you punya karma and more papa karma. Then who will liberate you there? There Jinvani is not going to come. You understand, dear friends, what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Please,
Yes, ma'am.
please take it forward. Please put it to all these trustees and so-called leaders of the Jain Samaj. You may be a leader in your own way, but see that you're leading the Jain community in the right way. Leading the Jain community is what we say, Moksha Margasya Netaram. Our Vitarag Bhagwan wants us to get rid of Darshan Monia and Anantanubandhi Kashai first by determining the reality, the Jiva Tattva that we are, that we eternally are. No matter your past was bad, bury it. It's a past, it was a pariyai. That time also you were the Gyan Swabhavatma. Now also you're Gyan Swabhavatma. Eternally you'll remain a Gyan Swabhavatma. So all this more Ragdvesh keep coming and going. They're all the travelers. They are not me. I disown them. That is when your Darshan Moni and Charitra Moni will be, the maximum chunk of the Mohaniya Karma will be broken. So when they break, the Darshan Mohaniya divides into three. Samyakta Mohaniya, Mithyatva Mohaniya, Mishra Mohaniya. Is it clear, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just ma'am, if I could just, talking about more, in the recently, during the Paryushan, I had the privilege of attending a few pravachans, and one definition that really, which probably many of you would be knowing, is about the split up of the word moksha. Pandit moksha, yeah. So the Panditji said, let's split it up into mo and ksha. Mo ka kshay hona, that is moksha. So
Yes.
it just really rung bells, It was a fantastic way of really explaining moksha.
Yes. And there is one more definition, you can note down that also.
Yeah.
Kashaya mukti kila mukti reva. Kashayon se mukti hi mukti hai. Kashaya mukti kila mukti hi eva mukti reva. There's a sandhi there. See, I need plenty of water. I've been talking for an hour and a half, and because of the upvas, all the cells dry up. So I have to do my gili patti, and then I have to take care of my physical body also, to use this body for further swadhyaya and tap and not for any other reason. Okay, friends.
Ma'am, how come you're still fasting? It's I think the Paryushan is still on, is over, right?
I'm doing Varshitab, dear.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Varshitab chal raha hai, Ekantar chal raha hai. So,
Great.
yeah, so your Gyan should make you come closer to Tap and Charitra. Then they are all the four in the right direction. Okay, mere tap without the swadhyay is 0. And swadhyay is there, but it is not complemented by charitra and tap. That is also 0. So the gyan and kriya, you can write down one more phrase. Gyan kriya bhyam moksha. And ratnatraya se moksha. Samyak darshan gyan. These 4 definitions very, very important.
Repeat that, ma'am. Jnana Kriya.
See, first of all, what Parasbhai said, moha ka kshay is moksha. One word. Moha ka kshay is moksha. Moha kshaya. Conquering moha is moksha. Conquering.
Second is Kashaya Mukti Kila Mukti Reva.
In second, I said Kashaya Mukti Kila Mukti Reva. Then you can take Jnana Kriya Bhyam Moksha. And in 4 ways, if you have to say, then 3 ways. Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitrani Moksha Marga. That is the three things. And 4, if you have to say, then Gyan Darshan Charitra Tap. These are all in the philosophical terminology. But Aam Admi ko, if you have to tell, Aam Admi means a common man, we tell him Dan, Sheel, Tap and Bhav. Together, all the 4. Dan, Sheel, Tap and Bhav. Very interesting class, no, today? Very rich, no? Very rich, no? Heavy,
Yes,
heavy.
ma'am.
Heavy.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
It's always interesting, ma'am.
All missile laden हो गया, तो सब missiles आ रही है. Okay, so Gyan Darshan Charitra Tap. So Charitra should include Tap. When you say Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitrani Moksha Margaha, there Charitra is inclusive of Tap. And when you say Gyan Kriya Bhyam, so that Kriya is of Gyan Darshan Charitra Tap. So Gyan of the reality and Charitra, Gyan Kriya, no? Kriya is the Gyan Darshan Charitra Tap ki Kriya. Gyan, I would say Gyan ki Kriya. Yes. The Gyan ki Kriya is Gyan Darshan Charitra Tap. You understood? So every moment Gyan is happening in the Jeev, but the Jeev, in the Gyan, some Gay is coming. So the Jeev gets carried away by the Gay. So that is more Agdvesh. You don't get carried away by the Gay. You remain in the Gyan. That is Charitra. That is Kashaya Mukti. That is Mukti from more. So that moment you are not doing new more Agdvesh. The old more Agdvesh will rise. You remain a silent spectator to it. You remain a witness to it. So it will go off in Nirjara. And you in that shot, you are not nurturing the 28 divisions of Mohaniya Karma. Then your Mati Shrut is in the right direction. So your Mati Gyan, Shrut Gyanavaran Karma, you are not binding. When you are not binding this Mati Gyanavaran, Shrut Gyanavaran, the Keval Gyanavaran starts dropping. And you consistently remain in the Gyan Swabhava Atma. So that Keval Gyanavaran completely drops and Keval Gyan shines. This is called Moksha Margasya Netaram. Bhetaram Karma Bhubratam. The Bhubrat of Mohaniya Karma is dropped. And you become a knower of reality. Gyataram Vishwa Tattvanam. Got it, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So understand Gyan Kriya Bhyam Moksha. Gyan ki Kriya se moksha hota hai. So in that Gyan ki Kriya, you have to understand the Gyayak, the Gye, the Gyanakar, the Ragdvesh, everything we have to understand.
Ma'am, I have a question. You said the word Pratiti. How different it is to Atmanubhuti?
It begins with Pratiti.
Okay.
And then the Pratiti becomes Pratyaksh.
Okay.
So then it is Atmanubhuti.
Okay.
And I'll tell you one thing, when we do logic, all things will come over there. We are going to
Okay.
do Pariksha Mukh, there all these things will come. Anuman and the 5 types of Gyan and Praman and Nay and everything we'll do there, we'll get it over.
Sure, sure. Thank you, ma'am.
And Dan, Shil, Tap, Bhav. Where do you come across the word Dan? Antray Karm, no? So when we do the Antray Karm over here, then I will touch upon Dan, Shil, Tap, Bhav. You remind me. When we do the Antray Karm, that time you remind me Dan, Shil, Tap, Bhav. There I'll do it. Okay. So today we have done Kashai and no Kashai.
The 11,000 we started, we haven't completed that one.
Which one?
11,111.
You haven't completed? Okay, write it down.
The first one we did as a Mithyatva, which is the.
But Guna madam gave the answer for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but still I'll give it to you again. It's a very important thing. Yes, dear.
Green bag yesterday.
So this one is Mithyatva. This one is Avirati, vowlessness. This is perversion. This is Pramad, called as invigilance, unawareness. Kashai is called as passions. And then you have Yog. This is the channels of activity of mind, speech, and body. Now we want to control the mind.
Can you go a little slow, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Have you written it? Then you ask me, then I'll tell.
Yes,
ma'am. Now, I have already explained this, but I'll tell it again. It's a very important thing because it's a very important example. See, you have taken a loan of 11,111 rupees from somebody. And every day you're repaying 1 rupee. How many years it will take for you to repay that? So as you repay 1 rupee, the interest will be more than the 1 rupee, no?
Yes.
So you will never be able to get rid of that loan. So now just imagine that this 11,111 are the units of karmic bondage that we have. And we want to get rid of it. So to get rid of it, okay, I'll meditate. I'll do some meditation. And you think, oh, I'll control my mind, then I will get the happiness. So that controlling the mind is like getting rid of that yog, 1 rupee. You will never be able to get rid of it. So you want to get rid of it. So what you have to do is first get rid of the one, the first one. Jainism says that one is Mithyatva, Darshan Monia and Charitra Monia. Which Charitra Monia? The Ananta Anubandhi Charitra Monia. That one is Darshan Monia and the Ananta Anubandhi Kashai. Together is the first one. The second and third Kashai Chokdi, Apratyakyan, Pratyakyan, is the second one. And the Kashai are also the second, third, and fourth one. And the activities of mind, body, speech are the yoga. So without checking the first one, the second one will not go. Without checking the second one, the third one will not go. Without checking the third one, the fourth one will not go. Without checking the fourth one, the fifth one will not go. Now I gave you one other example. Write down. The Mithyatva, no, is like the long coat that you're wearing. Okay, write down. Long coat. Avirati is the small coat that you wear inside. Small coat means your suit wala coat. Pramad is the jacket or the shirt, the jacket on it. Kashai is the shirt. And the banyan that you wear is the yoke. Now you want to remove your banyan, but you don't want to remove the long coat and all that. So can you remove that undergarment?
No.
So what do you have to do? First remove the long coat, then remove the small coat, then remove the vest, the small jacket like thing, then shirt, then the banyan will automatically. Right? And what you get is your Sahaj Swabhav. So first understand the Sahaj Swabhav. I am that. All these are parigraha. Then you get rid of them one by one. First, determining the Sahaj Swabhav, Atma, the Gyan Darshan Swabhav Atma, then the Mithyatva long coat of Darshan Moni and Charitra Moni drops. And when it drops, it won't go all alone. Like when you have repaid the loan of 10,000, you have taken the loan of 11,111 rupees, you have repaid 10,000. So are you not capable of getting rid of the 1,111 rupees, Mahendran sir?
Yes, ma'am. Majority is on. So the loan.
So likewise, so you become more eligible to take to the vratas.
Yes.
And getting rid of the kashai and the pramad. So your eligibility to take to the renunciation increases, and that is measured through the tap that you do, the self-restraint that you practice, the indriya vishaya nivritti that you practice. Otherwise, you will be simply telling, oh, I am not the enjoyer, and you keep partying 365 days. Then this is Maya Chari, this is Maya Kashai, which you're cheating yourself, not anybody else. When you cheat others, you get punished by the law. But when you're cheating your own self, the result, the consequence of it is nikut. So let that not Maya Chari. You can't do the tap, it's okay. But understand that it is my nature to be in that, to do that. All Tirthankas took to that path. I have to take that path. Where you cannot be munis, but muni is the right way of being in my own soul. No, I don't want to be a muni. I can't be a muni. You are binding the Charitra Moniya karma. Just by that thought, you are binding the Charitra Moniya karma. Because Bhagavan says without renunciation, there cannot be moksha. And you say, no, without renunciation, moksha is possible. So you are binding Darshan Moniya also and Charitra Moniya. You can't wear a gold chain, it's okay. But don't wear a chain made of brass or copper and tell it is a gold chain. You can't take to the great vows, it's okay. But don't say that it is not worth taking. Without that also I can get moksha. Then you are binding the Charitra. Because of that only the Diksha doesn't come to us. The right Diksha doesn't come to us. The right Diksha will not come because of the Darshan Moniya, and Diksha will not come because of Charitra Moniya. And the major problem is again in not understanding the divisions of Antaray Karma. So when we come to Antaray Karma, I'll again explain things in a different way. The same things.
Okay.
In a different way. Okay, dear. Understood, Mahendran sir, that 11,111?
Yes, thank you.
Now you have taken to the vows. You are in the 6th, 7th Gunasthan. 6th Gunasthan is the taking to the vows. Partial vows is 5th Gunasthan. So what is vows? Intermittently absorbing in the self is Shravak vows. And continuous focus on that is the Muni vows. So that is focus. Oh, you have understood it. Now I want that to be in my focus. Nothing else should be in my focus. Like Arjun, when he says, I can only see the eye of the bird and not anything else. I can only see my pure soul and nothing else. Not all the gay. I don't want Keval Gyan. I want only my Gyan Swabha. When that is a focus, then that state is called apramada. That is when 100 rupees, 100 units of karmas will drop. When that apramad is there, pramad drops, then the kashai, you're not taking to these 28 forms of kashai, 25 types of kashai, 25 or remove the 7, 21 types of kashai. Then the kashai drops. And now your yoga, or they're all internalized. Then in the last birth, the Man Vachan Kai also dropped. And how they drop, in what order they drop, all these karmas, 148 divisions, I will strongly recommend 2 books. Read Bandha Tattva by Kanyalalji Lodha and read Jnana Arnav. If you're really serious about more insights into what I'm teaching and talking. And Tuesday, I have a special lecture for JAS, Jain Academy of Scholars. I'll send you the invite. I don't know how I'll send you the invite because in Parmagam group, I don't put other invites. You'll have to message me, then I'll send you the invite.
No,
Otherwise,
you
I
send
won't.
to one of us, ma'am. We will put it in the Paramagam Vichar group.
Okay, dear Mahendran sir. I'll be putting in our Jainology group, so you take it from there and give
Yes,
it to them.
sure, I can do that. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So how are you enjoying the Jainology classes, Mahendran sir?
Oh, it's very interesting, ma'am. It is now going into the fundamentals, which most of it we covered in this 2 years. But I can see the intensity and all the homework and all the things. It is really interesting, ma'am. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for the feedback.
Yes,
And
I liked joining it. I made a decision to join. I really liked it.
So Mahendran sir will be studying the Shwetambar Agam also, and all the Shwetambars there will be studying the Paramagam also. The Paramagam means Kundakunda literature, which we called as Paramagam. So both have to study both, and then they get a correct picture of reality. So we are very passionate about what we are doing. And so this Kashai, no Kashai, you will read the pages. You have any doubts, you will bring to the class and we will discuss it further. So the class is over, dear friends, and I really liked being with you all. And even if a few people are there, it doesn't mind. Who knows, you few people will be the future Tirthankars. And then you will enlighten the world. Good. Thank you all for your presence. And I will really appreciate if all of you who listen to the recordings are present in the class. It really means a lot. And I want to finish the portions in good time and not get stuck up with one thing and miss out on other things. Okay, friends. So next week, I request Shobhaji to be ready. And then who is doing the other karmas to be ready. I'll quickly tell you that Saurabh sir has done Kashai and he's finished his Gandhar today. And Parasbhai has done the No Kashai, he's finished the Gandhar today. I give them 15 on 15. And then we'll have Shobha madam do the page number 55, 56, 57. Please somebody remind her that she has to do this. And after that, we have...
me, ma'am. After Shobha,
yes.
ma'am, I'm doing Antray.
Antray Karma is Padma Priya. Then Rajal is doing the Vedaniya Karma. Then Aarti is doing Ayu, Nam, Gotra. Kapil will do the one sensed suffering. Likewise, it goes on. Okay, friends. Thank you.
Thank you for your efforts, ma'am.
I will start the 4th chapter also in the next class. If nobody is there, I'm not going to do this portion. Only after you do, I will give my comments on it. Then I'll go to the 4th chapter and try to finish both by September, so that we can take Rambad Parya in October. And the self-study books, I request you all to study. Kal Chakra, whatever is there, please study. You have any doubts related to that, bring it to the class. Thank you all. Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, ma'am. Jai Jinendra. Thank you, ma'am.
Jai Jinendra, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
यह अनंत उपकार है, इसके लिए चुनवाणी माँ वंदना शत बार है. We bow down to the great Mother Jinmani, who has shown us the inner treasure to us. And with that Jinmani, it is a salutation to all the Paramatmas who have given this beautiful Jinmani, to all the Guru Bhagwans who have written the great text revealing the Jinmani for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Jai Jinendra.
Ma'am. Jai Jinendra, ma'am.
Somebody wanted to say something. Somebody wanted to say something, otherwise we are detaching. Thank you.